Fighting in the ANC is public knowledge. Recent reports suggest those aligned to the party's Secretary-General, Magashule, are planning a national shutdown. City Press reports they're demanding that President Cyril Ramaphosa and his entire cabinet be recalled. Bonto Holomisa, the leader of the United Democratic Movement, is suggesting an interim government until 2024. And he joins me now via Zoom from East London. A very good morning to you, Bonto Holomisa. Tell us more about these calls for an interim government and for the Concord to step in.
Well, good morning, Jane, and to our viewers. The ANC was given a mandate to develop South Africans as well as their country, or rather develop South Africa and its people. However, we have been witnessing that they have long abandoned that original agenda, but they have been focusing on the looting of the state resources. As a result, the infighting you are seeing now, some people, when they say, let's correct ourselves, they start pointing fingers to each other. If this threat of civil disobedience by ANC members against their fellow comrades, then we are in trouble. We have to think seriously as to what plan B as a country must we have in the event that they implement these threats and their plans to disrupt the services. Unfortunately, the Zondo Commission, which is busy right now with ESCOM, even before they have closed that file, that is the commission. 4 weeks ago, Minister Magashule told us that he has given a tender or a business transaction to a consortium which includes their investment companies, Tebe Investments, Bato Trust. So which means these guys are not serious. They are continuing with this looting. They have not learned anything from what happened through the Bosasa and Chancellor House. So therefore, we need to seriously consider talking about an interim arrangement until 2024.
Okay, how do you think that'll work, and what'll it be comprised of? Who do we put in there?
That's fine. We need to discuss that as a nation. I proposed that, for instance, the ANC executive must leave their offices and hand over the power to the Constitutional Court. Constitutional Court will, together with the South Africans, discuss such a thing as to what kind of interim government between now and 2024. And the ANC will have an opportunity to go and correct or self-correct itself outside the government. So the interim arrangement can work with Parliament, but the executive arm of the ruling party has messed up this country. They must leave.
You talk about self-correction. From what we've seen, do you think that's possible?
I doubt very much, because when Cyril Ramaphosa came in and he said he's going to root out corruption, they immediately said, but start with yourself first. Release the money which you allegedly bought branches in the ANC. What about the monies which are reported to have been donated to yourself by some companies, which are also helping the ANC? So they are in a mess. So we cannot expect themselves to we cannot expect that they will be able to extricate themselves out of this quagmire. Something has to happen.
I'm sure in your position as leader of the UDM that you have the privilege of talking to men and women on both sides of the many divides that we see, on all sides of many of the divides that we see within the ANC. What do they tell you? What are those who are not implicated? What do they say?
Well, there are those who are sober within the ANC who say Cyril is on the right course. He must implement the resolution of the ANC. But in the same house, you have another group of people who says, no, he has no mandate to do that. He cannot do that. He is a suspect himself. So for how long are we going to wait for this infighting? That's why we are saying, bring back our South Africa from the pits. Maibuye is South Africa to Emasele. That should be the campaign. And then 2024, at least the interim government would have tightened the rules and regulations of how to stop this corruption.
All right. We know that Ace Magashule's supporters are calling for a national shutdown, and you've expressed your concern this weekend at it, as have we. I mean, that's the last thing that this country needs. What do you think the impact of that could be?
Immediately, that has got an impact even to the would-be investors who are watching what is happening right now. If they were thinking of coming on the 1st of May to come and invest in South Africa, when they read these articles that an engine of the ANC through the Secretary General's office is fighting against his own president, then there's a problem. So people will apply a little bit of brakes in terms of coming to invest in South Africa, or those who are within South Africa, they are going to say, no, let me apply some brakes and see when will this political instability pass. On the other hand, if this civil obedience, disobedience takes off, then we must know that the security forces of this country are going to be stretched, and they will focus on dealing with those people, and in dealing with them, you can expect that there might be a bloodshed. So we don't need that.
No, we don't. Bonti Holomisa, good to talk to you. Thank you.